Jacob, and this is my story. Well, it's not really mine. It's like not all the stuff happened to me, but all the stuff that didn't happen to me happened to other people, real people. Not like Superman or Skylanders, but real people. On the outside, the side you can see, I look just like all the other kids. Well, not the ones with blonde hair. Or girls, of course, not girls, but other real kids. It's on the inside, I'm different. Sort of like kids who can't see, or hear, or maybe can't walk because they were born that way. But those kids look different on the outside. The side you can see. So everyone wants to help them. But not me. I'm broken on the inside. In my brain. But people can't see that part, so they usually don't like me and don't want to help.
Anything could happen.
Jacob, I asked you if you understand.
Yes. That's what it sounds like in my brain, inside my ears, and I can't make it stop and put the right things in the right place. So when Mrs. Cassidy's talking to me like that, like she really wants me to understand, I just say yes. But I don't really know what she wants me to do or what not to do. I just say yes. But
Jacob, I just told you not to sit there. You're in grade 3 now. What is the matter with you sometimes? I swear you must be deaf.
I guess it was something not to do. I think that's why Mrs. Cassidy hates me. That's why all the teachers hate me. And the other kids think I'm weird and say mean things.
Ready for dinner? Kids already ate.
Yeah, sure. So, what was it today? You beat anybody up? Tell anybody where to go? Run away? What?
You make it sound like something horrible happens every day.
Well?
Jacob has to stay home for the next 2 days, but it's not a suspension. They just felt he needed a cool-down period. He got into a fight in the yard at recess, and of course they blamed Jacob. He said that the other kids were picking on him again. He just wanted to play, but that same kid in grade 7...
Shit!
Well, I don't think it was his fault. He just always gets blamed.
Not his fault. You know as well as I do, he never knows enough to keep his mouth shut. And what are we supposed to do for the next 2 days?
He's only in grade 5. And the bigger kids pick on him all the time. I just can't make the school understand that he's scared and he's angry and he's frustrated. It is not his fault all the time. Look, I told them I didn't have anybody to look after him, but they said we're just going to have to make arrangements. Maybe your mother could...
No! We can't ask her again. He's not her responsibility. She's 70 years old, for God's sake.
Well, Mr. Jackson said he understood. I'll see if I can take one more day, and then maybe you could pull in...
No! No. 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 I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Look what he's doing to us. I know that we thought if we just loved him, everything would work out, but it's not enough. I'm calling the CAS.
No, please.
We have done everything we could. Everything.
Well, I can't. It will get better, I know it.
No, it won't. And he's not a baby anymore. I haven't had a good night's sleep in I don't know how long. I'm tired. You're tired. The kids are scared.
No, they're not. They love him. They understand.
No, they don't. I don't. When we took him, we didn't know anything about FASD. They said he was a healthy baby. We have done everything.
We'll get some help.
There is no help. You know that as well as I do. Every place we take him, they send us someplace else or put us on a waiting list. And that's school. Why can't they just do their job and help him? He's only in grade 5. I don't think they have any idea what to do with him. And what do you think is going to happen as he gets older?
I can't. I just can't. We can't.
I am finished. Either he goes
Guess what? I fixed my light all by myself. Sorry.
Jacob.
I love you.
Thank you for coming in today, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you for seeing me.
I assume this is about Jacob's behavior. We have tried just about everything, used every resource available, and yet Jacob seems unwilling or unable to participate in any of the interventions we have
Mrs.
created.
Bell, I appreciate all of your efforts, I really do, but all of the strategies that you are using don't fit Jacob's needs. He's just getting more frustrated and angry and scared every day. He's spending most of his day, every day, just sitting outside your office. I mean, the other kids tease him all the time because he's always on display.
Well, what would you like us to do? Leave him in the classroom so that none of the other children
No.
know?
Yes. Yes, I would like you to change your approach. Look, Dr. Mason has sent a whole list of suggestions that are appropriate for children with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. I don't think you've even tried any of them.
Mrs.
There are...
Smith, our team has spent a considerable amount of time developing Jacob's behavior plan and his individual education plan based on our professional judgment.
I know, but you haven't even included his recent diagnosis in the plans. The last individual education plan you asked me to sign was just about the same as the one from last year.
Which we are still waiting to have signed and returned.
Well, I don't want to sign something that I don't believe in.
Mrs. Smith, we are doing everything we can given the resources we have available at the school.
I know.
We have many other students with needs just as great as Jacob's.
I understand.
The truth is, we are dealing with a non-compliant child who does not respect the rules of the school.
No, that is not...
Rules that every student is expected to adhere to. He is responsive to all of the consequences of his behavior. Until we can manage his behavior, we can't even begin to address the other issues.
His behavior is a result of the fact that the strategies that you are using don't match his needs. It's like trying to put a blind child in a wheelchair because it's what you have available. Of course his behavior's not improving. He's just getting more frustrated and angry because he's not getting the help he needs.
Mrs. Smith, regardless of your personal opinion, we are the experts, and we are doing everything we can to help Jacob as much as possible. And I can assure you, the last thing you want to do is to be labeled a difficult or uncooperative parent. I assure you that would not be in Jacob's best
I
interest.
am not trying to be difficult. I just want someone to recognize that Jacob is drowning. It is almost impossible to get him to come to school anymore. Please, please, just try some of the strategies that Dr. Mason has suggested. He can't keep sitting outside your office every day. If things don't change, he's just going to give up or blow up. There must be something else we can do. Is there somebody at the board office that I can speak to?
Well, I assure you, I've been in touch with our student services department. They are completely up to date on the details of Jacob's challenges, and they have reviewed the documentation.
But the documents are not complete or correct or helpful. They don't even include the correct information.
Mrs. Smith, I know it's not Jacob's fault, but I've been told that it is extremely difficult to get resources allocated for a disorder for which there are very, very few children who have a diagnosis.
I really don't want this to be an adversarial relationship. I know we both want what's best for Jacob, but his programming needs to reflect his diagnosis of FASD. He does not have a behavior disorder, and he does not have ADHD. His needs are not that complicated. If he could just have a space in the class with very little stimulus, a place where he can go when things get too muddled in his head, if he could just learn to regulate his reactions to being overstimulated by the world around him, I know you would see a difference in his behavior. Why can't that kind of information be part of his IEP?
We would love to include more specific information. However, we're limited by what the ministry will allow. I've shown you the blank forms that we have to work with. All we can do is identify the behavior on the documents, which we have done, and follow the protocol as outlined by the ministry. The ministry doesn't even include a box for FASD.
Boxes? Forms? Protocol? We are talking about a little boy here. He does not fit into the boxes. This is a school, not a business. Where is your compassion? Your school brochure says that every student's needs will be accommodated. Well, what about Jacob's needs?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith. I think we're finished here today. We seem to have come to an impasse again. I hope you can understand there's only so much we can do. You're welcome to contact the board office on your own. I will be informing them that we seem to have reached a stalemate. Thank you for coming in.
As if. I hope you just told her to wear it herself if she likes it so much. Parents really can be a pain in the... Oh my god. Wait till I tell you what happened today. Okay, so you know that weird kid who's always sitting in front of the principal's office? Yeah. Well, I was going to the bathroom to meet Tiffany, and when I walked past him, he looked right at me. Yeah, I know, right at me. Of course he was sitting in his crazy kid chair because, you know, he always sits there. I don't even think he goes to class anymore. I mean, he's there every single time I go to the bathroom. Every time. And as you know, that's a lot. Well, give me the creeps. Ugh. Well, Tiffany says he gives her the creeps too. I think I might get a petition. I bet I can get every girl in the whole class to sign it. Okay, well, there's no way Beth will sign it, but she's just Little Miss Wonderful, and who really cares about her anyway? I don't know, maybe they'll say that he's not allowed to look at me, or any of us. I mean, what if he thinks I like him or something? Ugh, gross. Okay, I won't get a petition, but you have to admit he is really weird. I mean, no one wants to hang out with him. All the teachers hate him. I bet his parents don't even like him. Duh. strange though. His sister seems sort of normal. Whatever. So, are you going to Shelley's party? Everyone I know will be there, except for the weirdo, of course. Imagine if you just showed up.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep. And by his sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep, perchance to dream. But there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come must give us pause. But that the dread of something after death puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus consciences make cowards of us all. With this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
Whoa, Jacob, that was great. Seriously, I have never heard a high school student nail that speech the way you just did, especially one in grade 9. Where did that come from?
What do you mean?
Well, you said that speech like they were your own words. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, just great. What if they are my own? You don't even know me, and why the hell would you want to?
Jacob?
You know what? It is my life. Most of the time I wish I could just go to sleep and never wake up.
Whoa, that's crazy stuff. No, I didn't know. But I'd like to. Maybe I could help. At least I could listen. Do you want to talk?
I've spent my life talking to teachers and principals and shrinks, and it's always the same. As soon as I learn to follow the goddamn rules. No, I don't want to talk. Why would you be any different? So just fuck you, just leave me alone.
Jacob, you get back here this instant. Oh, that is the last straw for that kid. He is out of here.
No, please. You can't suspend him. Look, I just saw something in Jacob that I have never seen before. He does not want to... He's not a bad kid. He's very talented, and I've never told him that before. And I know that some kids just can't handle praise, but this is something different. I've never seen this before. I think he might really be in trouble. Look, if I've ever earned any points to cash in, I want to cash them all in right now. Give me one chance to talk to him. Don't suspend him, please.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Nothing? That kind of language just isn't tolerated. It's in all the ministry documents on behavior. and what if someone found out he said it? It could set a dangerous
Well,
precedent.
who's going to find out? He's not going to tell anyone. Are you? Sorry. Look, give me one chance, please. Just one chance.
Fine. I hope that young man knows how lucky he is. Yes, I know this isn't the first time you've saved his behind. I know about that incident last week between Jacob and Mrs. Kane. But this is it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have told you to fuck. You know.
Apology accepted.
So you really want to listen? For real?
Jacob, I don't have a magic wand to wave and just make things better. But I have been doing this for a long time. So I know how the system works. And I know it doesn't work for everybody. But there are lots of things we can change to make things better for you. You just got to be willing to accept the help from people who want to help you.
Mostly it's just the noise. The other kids can just tune out all the extra sound and go to class, but I just can't. It makes me crazy. I'm sure most people would agree with that. If I could just shut out all the extra sound, I know I could do my work. But I can't. All the teachers complain that I never listen. I try, I really do, but all the sound just gets mixed up and I can't stop it, I can't.
Okay. I understand. Look, what if I make arrangements for you to work in the independent learning center some of the time, on your own? Would that help?
Yeah. Cool.
And?
The other kids. They make up their mind about me that I'm weird and dumb. Mostly because they hear things from the students at my old school. They laugh at me, call me names when I walk down the hall. It makes me so mad I really want to punch every one of them in the face!
Whoa. I'm sure that wouldn't help. Look, I'm going to do everything I can to make this place work better for you. Will you trust me?
See ya.
Oh, Jacob. Great job on the modeling. Pretty sure it's an A.
Thanks.
For those seeking just to be loved,
All rise.
We are here today for sentencing. I have reviewed the case, and I have to say I am disturbed at the length of the list of incidents you've been involved in, Jacob. I am equally alarmed to see that the most recent incident seems to have escalated to include a violent assault. The petty theft, the curfew violations, and damage to property are one thing. But I believe that you need to get a strong message from this court today that things have to change. Now, I am aware that you have been diagnosed with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which I know is a terrible sentence on its own, but that does not give you a license to walk through life with a chip on your shoulder, ignoring all the rules that exist to protect everyone in society. I have read your character reference from your teacher, Mr. Day, and your mother's personal statement. You obviously have a support network willing to help and who see possibilities. But I have to look at the details of the case and make my ruling accordingly. Do you understand what I've just said to you, Jacob? Let the record show that Jacob is nodded in the affirmative. Is there anything you would like to say to the court today, Jacob? No? Very well. Jacob, I am sentencing you to 1 year less a day in the Secure Youth Detention Center. I am also requiring ongoing counseling, which will conclude with a report to be used in the determination of your release conditions. You will be taken from the courtroom today to begin your sentence.
Please don't cry.
Sorry. Can't help it.
You say that every time.
There. Your dad really wanted to come, but you know how busy he gets this time of year. Mary and Jake both said to say hello, and they'll come and visit you as soon as they can.
Mom, it's okay. I don't blame Dad. Mary and Jake are both totally relieved that I'm here and not at home. It's not their fault. Mom, please don't cry. Really. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm okay in here. I haven't gotten in trouble once, and no one has yelled at me in 3 days. It's weird, it's sort of like we're all in the same boat. The noise in my head, it's way softer now. I can just stay in my room for as long as I want, and I can just read, and all the other stuff goes away. I slept last night. Really. I slept. It hasn't happened in so long. I don't have to make any choices in here, and I don't have to worry about making another big mistake. And I don't have to worry about disappointing anyone. Except for you. So sorry. You're the only one who kept on believing in me, kept on fighting for me. Oh, and Mr. Day. I never would have gotten through high school without his help either.
He called. He says he has a job for you. He knows how good you are with your hands, and he needs his garage rebuilt. He said you can start as soon as you get out. Take as long as you need. It might just be the start you need. You just have to try and...
And what? Be normal? Follow the goddamn rules like everyone else? Maybe I can. Maybe this time I'll get it right. It's just being around too many people. The job was just killing me. When those guys started, it was like I was back in school. The names, the mean names. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just couldn't control it anymore. I talked to the shrink in here a few times. She told me things about my disorder that I never really knew. At least I never heard. She showed me pictures of people's brains with FASD, like mine. She said it's not my fault that I keep making the same mistakes. I know you've tried to tell me 1,000,000 times, but I always just got in more trouble, so I guess I just started believing you were trying to make me feel better. Maybe it is for the best. I'll take a break from the rest of the world, and if I can just work on my own, I know I can do it.
Of course you can. And it's only for a few months. If everything goes all right, you'll be home by summer.
I'll try. I'll be good. I don't have any decisions to make in here. Mom, you don't have to keep coming to visit all the time. It's too far to drive, and it's really hard. I'm pretty busy anyway.
Jacob, what else have I got to do? Would you like anything next week?
No, Mom. Yeah, see ya. So sorry. What if people could see people's brains like they can see wheelchairs?
What if there was enough support in the community so that I didn't have to feel all alone?
What if every teacher had the training he or she needs to recognize when a child might be struggling with FASD and it's not just being a bad kid?
What if people could understand that I don't want to be like this any more than blind kids want to be blind or deaf kids want to be deaf? That I was just born this way.
What if schools and school boards understood and recognized how many kids just might have FASD and tried to make the same accommodations for them as they do for other students with physical disabilities?
What if I had the chance to learn about kids like Jacob, so I wasn't afraid of them and accepted them like I would if I knew it was wrong with them?
What if people could just understand that I don't want to be bad? That it's not my fault that I get things mixed up, that I try to do what I'm supposed to, and that it really hurts to feel like no one likes me. What if people could just understand that I shouldn't be in jail because I have a disability? I wish I would have been invited to just one graduation party or one birthday party or one anything party.
And all the high and mighty may not hear the people cry. The lonely boy will live his story, a page on which he'll never get to write. Is this